Shit like that. Shit like that.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
100%.
Let's
Now,
get this shit.
yo, now
Let's get
they
this.
they in the chat. They wanted to know how that massage ended.
Oh, happy.
Perfect.
90,000 peso happy. Yeah.
Wow. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like
Damn,
that.
man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Bub, what's poppin'? You all right over there?
What's good, yo? I hope I'm all right. Sound like y'all trying to get my ass divorced tonight.
Nah. Hey, you know what? They don't listen to us when we talk.
Well, let's go through some of the stereotypes that seemingly been put on the passport, bros. If you don't mind, man. The rumor going around, Carlos, is that y'all can have access to no women. Y'all couldn't get no pussy in the States, so you had no choice but to travel.
Oh shit!
That's the most favorite bullshit line I've heard. I've heard it a lot. I'm not sure where they're getting that from, but
yeah,
I don't know. That's just, I guess it may come out of jealousy, so they want to just discredit us. And when you talk about certain idiots out there, they base their whole value on how much pussy they can get. So
yeah.
They can brand you as someone who can't get pussy, then they can say, "Hey, I'm better than you." I think that's where that came from. But no, brothers I know of that are pastor bros didn't have any problems. They have a problem in toxic relationships in America, but they didn't have problems getting sex. Not that I'm aware of. So I'm not sure with that. It was just like a snowball effect. So
yeah.
And
Hey, guys,
what's funny with that?
Give me one, Lou, real quick. Just do me one favor. There's a tad bit of feedback, so everybody just mute just in case. I just want to make sure everybody's heard clearly when you're not talking. That's all. Go ahead, Lou. My fault.
No, I was saying it's funny with that when you hear that, the ABW say that in America, oh, you're not getting pussy and all that stuff. We all know when you travel, we all know you got to have money to travel. Okay, you got to have a little something on you to travel. But what's funny to me, it's funny, back in the day, okay, because now you got females of all walks of life that's saying that, females that you wouldn't give the time of day tell you, oh, you ain't even getting no punani or nothing like that. Okay. And we all know any type of saying, any type of latest dance, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They all just say the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Just to say it, kind of forgot what I was getting at, but the fabric of this society is ruined. Whenever a female, like, I forgot the female's name, but she has some outrageous, things for males. But the fabric of the society is pretty much ruined, and that's why we're doing our thing pretty much. So
okay, now there's one thing that you touched on, and Chuck came up here looking like $1 million. That if it wasn't for the money, you wouldn't have access. What you think about that, Theo? You on mute, Theo.
Thanks. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's not even a point. Like, so my country of choice is Japan. Japan is a rich, industrialized country. You have to have money in order to date there or do anything. I mean, when I got married, I was working in IT security. I was Japan's 5th CISSP, and I was making over $120,000 a year. I was 29. I was 28 years old when I was doing that. Okay. My wife was also employed. And she had her master's degree in Japan. I had my 2 master's degree in the United States. We were a normal couple, right? And so from the people to be saying it's about money, I'm like, nah, man, nah, it's not. It's not at all. It's about enjoying the culture. It's about going someplace else, being a part of another system, and expanding your horizons. And that's what I've always done. Always enjoyed it. And to the people who say like you can't get none or something like that, I always tell them, come here to Tokyo and say that to me. Like, come over here on my street and say that. I bet you don't have the money to come here. And if you do it, you're going to see real quick what's really going on, because I have the upper hand here in this country. You don't. Especially because I'm fluent in the language. So bring it on. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah, no, that's fair, definitely. But I don't know if you disproved the notion. You may have actually added to it by saying how much money you have, where you live, how you live. Would you be able to get the same access to women if it wasn't for all that beautiful education and 120K?
To to me, like, how could I say that? That's like a basic requirement in Japan to actually get married. So if you don't have that kind of money, you're just not going to get married. But the same thing, you're not marrying someone who is like, a working girl, something like that. You're wearing a high quality woman who actually has her education and everything like that. So the other men who will make 120, it's not a big thing to be honest with you. So it's just a requirement. That's all. You're not paying for it, not at all. Now we talk about the States. Why would I go to the States and date someone there when I can have a high quality Japanese woman or Korean or Colombian, Ukrainian? Why would I spend my money there? It makes no sense. Or why would I just waste my time there? It just doesn't make sense at all.
Okay. You hit on a couple different points that I definitely want to mine out. I saw that. Carlos, you wanted to say something?
Well, I thought the whole thing was just silly with the whole money thing because in America itself, the guys who have the resources are going to have more access to more women. That's the way it is in America too. So it's worldwide. So that's really not even a point. That's just reality. Women don't like broke men. That's a worldwide issue.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Aren't women over here online crying about the minimum salary they want is 6 figures, right? So
yeah,
if money,
exactly.
money matters across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think to clarify that.
Exactly.
Well, Rico, were you saying something? My bad.
No, it's just a little bit of gaslighting going on. You know what I'm saying? Because these same detractors that will say things like it's only because of your money or your access, as Carlos stated, it's the same shit in the U.S. Right? You're not, women will literally tune you out and completely kind of excommunicate you from the dating market if you don't make a certain amount, if you don't have a certain height, a certain build, if you don't drive a certain car, these material things. So what's the difference in using your money to attract women in the United States versus going to a country where maybe the economy and the US dollar works more in your favor, you get more bang for your buck? I think it's not that men have to, it's just another option. And a lot of dudes like us who travel and get to experience that option quickly see that it's a better option, and that's why we do what we do.
You're saying the money matters regardless. I guess that speculation and argument that they put, and maybe I've seen Chuck on more panels, you know what I mean? He's been rocking with me, is that you had no choice but to go out of the country because American women don't like you, and then leveraging that dollar hanging over that dollar over those women's head is the only reason. And I'm not speaking hyperbole. This is what they say. Chuck can just gotta know he heard conversation.
Yeah, that's what they say. I hope you don't. I hope you wasn't saying I said that, right?
No. I'm just saying. I heard this before. Yes. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
I've heard that argument. It is just so laughable.
Yeah, in Japan, you're not going to be able to leverage your dollar. It's pretty much the same price level. Not like Brazil or Colombia. I'm very aware of leveraging your dollar there. Ukraine, you can do quite a lot. Philippines, same thing. In Japan, no. It's pretty much the same price.
Are you an outlier? Are you an outlier by using Japan? Because the countries that we hear that are touted, right? Just what we hear. Because remember, I don't know if it's the correct voices that are allowed this, but it's the voices that people listen to. It's usually, I don't know if this is the right terminology anymore, but third world-esque countries where people are saying go here, Thailand, etc., things of that nature. So is Japan something we need to throw out to have the conversation?
Well, not everybody in these countries are poor like people think they are, and another reason, another point is what difference does it make? All right, if you have a connection with her, it doesn't matter what her income is.
Thank you.
So why do people even care?
I guess because Los, they're speculating that ain't no connection if you don't got no bread.
Well, women don't
No,
like broke men anyway, so what's the point?
so
wait.
you have to be able to afford certain things in the country, like rent,
But
if you're there. So I mean, you have to have a
100%,
certain
deal.
level of cash flow.
Yeah, you got to be able to sustain yourself. But Los, do they like broke men? Or do they like niggas with money? See, we just made two conflicting points. I'm just trying to help y'all understand what they be saying, what I've heard, so we can mine it out.
Well, I can tell
Like,
you.
oh, go ahead.
It's kind of like, for example, in my field, people ask me all the time, like, how can I get into software development? You know, can I just do a boot camp? Can I do these things? And usually I lead with, well, I went to a 4-year university, and I would recommend that you do the same. And then sometimes people will respond with like, oh, well, I know this guy who was self-taught, or this one guy who took a boot camp and he has a job. And I'm like, well, in my experience of working in this field, I have come across very, very few people who were self-taught that I worked across from. And I'm talking about some of the biggest companies in the world, Fortune 500 companies, what have you, right? So in that scenario, you have people that just want to make an argument. And what they will do is, if you ever looked at statistics and looked at a bell curve, right? Things that fall under that bell curve represent the average. And what they're doing is taking these outliers, right? And then they're trying to make that the average, the sum of, you know, what everybody's doing. So are there some guys who get off the plane and fail in dating in other countries and have to open up their wallets in order to get connections? Absolutely. I've seen it with my own eyes. But that doesn't represent the majority of the people in this movement. And I think that's even obvious from this panel. Not everybody's traveling just to trip. You know, some of us, like myself, are over here building lives, building businesses. You know, I'm a minority owner in a restaurant in the Dominican Republic. I've started Airbnbs in multiple countries. And now I have my first kid on the way with a Brazilian woman here. So, you know, I meet a whole lot more people that are in my lane, other expats that are looking to do the same. Own property, own businesses, network, build relationships, you know. So they got to stop taking these outliers and kind of painting us all with that same brush.
Okay, I want to say something. Now, I have seen in Tanzania, I've seen guys who have done very well with women in America do horrible in Tanzania because of their personality. All right. You can't just simply be an American and just, they're just going to fall in love with you simply for that reason. You got to be a good person. You got to be a type of person that they actually like. All right. You can't just, just leverage your dollar like someone was saying, that's only going to work with 304. So that was just a pointless statement, And
Okay, well,
I know who's saying it. They just want to discredit people because they don't want to travel in the first place.
Friend, and we out.